and it's going to be available through Longwood University, which is the university that owns the press. So it's also going to be available through the actual press, which is called Briery Creek. But for most people, it's going to be available from that wonderful mega store, Amazon.com. So, and also it's going to be available through my website. So if anybody wants to go to the website, bagoodjohn.com, they'll be able to get copies from there. They'll also be able to read the blog, and one of the things that I'm doing between now and the release date, and probably after the release date, is to talk on that blog site about the poems and about the poetry life and about writing and teaching. And as I said, I promised that each blog entry is only 200 words long, so I'm trying to make sure that people wouldn't have to sit on there forever. So that's where it's available from my website, from Amazon.com, and direct from Briery Creek, which is the press out of Longwood. And the great thing is that I actually sell through my website, but I use my Etsy store to actually handle the transaction, which means I can personalize each copy. So if somebody orders it off of my website, they can tell me if they want any particular inscription inside, and I'm really happy to I don't know, dedicate it to their grandmother or whoever they're giving it to, and to sign it, and I'll even wrap it up for them if they want it gift wrapped.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, that's what technology allows you to do today. So whilst we're kind of annoyed that technology takes all of our attention and makes our lives so busy, it certainly makes the business of marketing books nowadays so much easier than it was perhaps 15 years ago.
Talking about marketing, do you think marketing of books it's an easy task or difficult?
Diana, I hate it. I would much rather write a sonnet from scratch than market. I think I think that times have changed. It used to be that Hemingway could. I don't know whether Hemingway did it. Maybe Faulkner did it. Could just kind of turn up to his editors with a stack of handwritten pages, and the editor would kind of get them all typed up and then go and sell them and give him the money. But that doesn't happen anymore. Once you finish writing the poem and the collection, then you have to work out, how you're going to market it, and then you have to get used to being on wonderful radio shows like yours, and you have to be able to stand in rooms and kind of say, hey, I'm Bunny Goodjohn, and go buy my book. And I don't find that very easy. I think a lot of writers, and I'm only talking for myself here, but I think that a lot of poets, particularly, are very private people, and it's kind of hard to kind of suddenly take off your writer's hat and put on your marketeer's hat. But I think it's essential. I think it's where we live now, and we have to market our work and get it out there. There's so much work out there that you have to try and find out some way to get yours to rise to the top. And I mean, I'm just grateful. I work really closely with Jennifer Perry. She does a lot of my publicity for me. So she works out of Lone Wolf Communications, and she's really helping me. She's kind of like my fairy godmother at the moment. She's telling me what to do and what not to do. She taught me how to use Twitter, and that's not an easy thing. So she's taught me how to use that in the last 3 weeks, and I think I'm getting it. I'm not sure, though. I'm okay at Facebook, but Twitter is confusing me a little bit.
Actually, Twitter is an amazing marketing tool for the writers, for the authors,
so I'm
for
being
everybody.
told. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about a poetry form that would be stanzas in 140 characters. I thought that might be quite a fun thing to do, like a tweeting poem or something. But maybe I'll think about that as a promotional tool. That might work for me.
And talking about the poem, would you like to read another poem for us? Is there a poem which you dedicated to somebody and would like to share with us?
Yeah, let me think. I'm just going down my list. Yes, Let me read you a poem. I've got my manuscript in front of me. This is a poem I wrote a few years ago, actually, and it's dedicated to a really wonderful man. I had the very good fortune to live with a guy for a few years in London. He was an alternative comedian and lived and died through his voice and words and communication. And unfortunately, he contracted motor neurone disease, which I think is more widely called Lou Gehrig's here in America, or ALS. So this poem is for Zed. He died in 2000. It's called Like in Her Cow. Standing in this misting rain, I hear you speak of In Her Cow, who awaited Osiris in a pleated gown, warm figs and peaches twining in his tomb, organs sealed in terracotta, save the heart which waited stalled in his breast. Elaborate provisions compared to yours, just 4 plumed horses and Sam on sacks. Yesterday, the man in charge would not allow the horses into the cemetery. We carried you from sidewalk to grave, me, old Sam and the boys, left the horses to graze on grass, tug forsythia through the wrought iron fence. No music, the man said, so Sam just sang goodbye. Today, I bring you gifts, a magical cat to catch the snake of chaos, bright coins to light your way, a bottle of beer and seed for your bar. Would that I could give you my arm, but I leave my glove to hold your hand, lead you safely home in this last solo stumble into shadow. So that was for the love of my life, and unfortunately he left me in 2000. But as you said earlier on, Diana, poems can allow us to return to a highly troubling or painful moment in our lives and somehow capture it. And I think that that's what good poetry does. Poetry comes out of a lived life and allows us to grab those moments and to hang on to them, and to share them. You know, we've all loved somebody, and many of us have lost somebody that we loved. So I kind of hope that my poems not only narrate my life, but maybe shed some light and maybe some relief on other people's.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm sorry for your loss. It's very
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. So, do you plan any signings to meet with your fans, your followers?
Yeah, there's a small coffee. Well, actually, it's an independent bookstore here in Lynchburg, Virginia, called Given's Books, and actually, this came about through Twitter. Somebody tweeted me, I think that's the right phrase. It was the manager of the coffee store in this bookshop, and said that he was interested in the book, and we've been talking. So I think that I'm going to have my launch party in this bookstore, inside of which there is this cafe. We haven't sorted out a date yet, but that's probably going to be mid-May. And I have a wonderful poet friend here in town. He actually works for Lynchburg College, which is the other college in Lynchburg, called Jer Bryant. And he's a wonderful poet and theater guy. So we're going to share the night and have a launch of my book, as I say, probably around about the second week in May. But Jennifer Perry is trying to put together an online launch for me too, which is a really interesting idea. Gone are the days when your publisher gave you like $9,000 and said, off you go and promote your book. Now there's no funds available for promotion, so we have to get clever about how we do it. So I'm hoping for an online launch, a physical launch. My college will be doing something to help relaunch the collection when school gets back in the fall. And I'm going to be, I guess I'm going to be standing up in crowded rooms saying, hi, my name's Bunny Goodjohn, and would you like to buy my book an awful lot? and seeing whether I can get any local bookstores and things as I'm moving around Virginia and the South over the summer. So I guess, I'm hoping to do stuff online and to do stuff the old-fashioned way in person. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, congratulations. It's amazing.
Thank you.
And I never met Jennifer Perry, but she's amazing. I just wanted to thank her about what she's doing for me also. She's just introducing wonderful, wonderful people, musicians, poets, authors. It's just amazing. I hope
she
to meet
certainly
her
has.
someday.
She knows a lot of. She knows so many different artists. Whether they're musicians, as you say, or writers. I'm really impressed at the people she's helping out, and she's certainly helping me. That's for sure.
Is there a website where the listeners can find information about the official launch of the book? Probably they would like to meet with you or be in the Virginia area, so they can find some information.
I think the best thing to do is to head out to that website, the bagoodjohn.com website. And if they can't remember that, just Google Bonnie Goodjohn. There's only one with an unusual name. It's kind of good that I get hit straight away. So if they Google Bonnie Goodjohn, that will take them onto my website, and I promise I will have breaking news as it breaks on there with regard to readings. But often also I have a Facebook page, and I also have a Facebook page for Bone Song. So if they go onto Facebook and just type in Bone Song, they'll hit my page. If they like that page by clicking on like, they'll get all the updates.
Is it okay if they contact you through your email? Would you like to share it also?
Yeah, why not? Let's be brave. My email address is bagoodjohn@gmail.com.
Wonderful. So if they have any questions, they can always email you.
Yes, please. There is nothing I like more than an email from somebody wanting to ask me something about writing. It's kind of like the stuff that I love to do, so that would be wonderful.
My last question is probably because about 3 minutes away till the end of the show will be how your poems are going to change the lives of the people who are gonna read them.
Gosh, that's a big question in a couple of minutes. I would like to think that in the same way that my student came to me and said that a poem by Robert Frost helped her get through her day when she was in high school, I'd like to think that maybe some of my poems might achieve the same thing. My poems talk about a lot of stuff. They talk about relationships and loss and fun things too. They talk about addiction. They talk about 12-step programs and recovery and living sober and all that good stuff. So I like to think that by reading a poem of mine, then maybe something might make a bit more sense, or that people might not feel like they're the only one struggling with something, because there's nothing new in this world. All of our problems have all been faced by somebody else before, so maybe I can help somebody through a little bit.
And my last question is, I have been asking all of my guests the same question. It's what would you like to see changed in this world? Is there something that is bothering you a lot?
I would like us to listen more, and whether that goes back to the idea of listening through reading or listening to people actually talking. I think we've got way too reactionary. We read stuff, we read status updates and tweets, and suddenly we react without knowing all of the background information. I'd like us to listen more and to talk less. How about that? Listen more, talk less. I think that would be a nice thing.
So,
apart from your show. Sorry?
Any last words for the listeners? Is there anything you would like to share besides all the questions I already asked you? If you love to write, support writers by buying their books and by going to readings and by talking about the value of writing and reading in your life. I think that would be a wonderful thing to do. Thank you so much, Goodjohn, for being on my show. Thank you so much for sharing these beautiful poems. I wish you best of luck with the new book, with everything. Thank you to Jennifer who introduced you to me. Thank you so much to the listeners who were with us today. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.